I'm a little bored with routine, you know. I can't do the same thing again and again because it's very unlike my, usual frequency.
Very academic as a person, so I like to look at what went wrong so that I don't maybe miss this red flags the next time.
Today you're going to learn about how Alia Bhatt, the celebrity actress, learns from law of attraction and practices law of attraction to achieve her goals.
I have a thing where if I want something really badly and it's like something that I want, or like an award or a film or maybe something health related, or maybe even a holiday or something to do with like just anything, I just act out that particular situation by myself in my bathroom in front of my mirror.
Ready? Every week we try to bring you new case studies of celebrities and successful people in the world on how they use law of attraction in their life. So you can also learn from them, vibrate at that frequency and achieve that kind of success. Ready to learn? Let's go. My name is Mitesh Khatri. I and my wife, Indu Khatri, we are law of attraction coaches and national best-selling authors of this book, The Law of Attraction. Let's begin to learn the law of attraction case study of Alia Bhatt. I hope you still remember every time I remind you, if you're watching me again and again, that law of attraction works because of what? Frequency. Come on, take your hands like this, say frequency. Now, what is frequency? Emotions, thoughts, beliefs, and actions. The kind of emotions we have is the kind of life we attract. The kind of thinking, the kind of beliefs we have is the kind of life we attract, the kind of people we attract, the kind of opportunities we attract. Our actions is also frequency. Whenever we want to grow in our life, one of the best way to grow is to learn from frequency of people who have already succeeded and then vibrate at the same frequency. Simple. That is why I do these case studies of successful people and their frequency in law of attraction. We've already done some amazing case studies on people like Diljit Singh Dosanjh, Hrithik Roshan. Go and watch those videos on my channel. Links are above here or maybe in the description below. Today, I'm going to show you what is the emotional frequency of an amazing actress like Alia Bhatt and why she's able to succeed in her life. The first emotional pattern, which I still think is one of the most powerful frequencies that she vibrates at, is curiosity. I know a lot of people have this habit of not being curious. In fact, they're the opposite of curious. They're not trying to learn. They're not open to multiple things in life, which is normal, by the way. You know why? As human beings, we don't like change. And that is why we're not very curious. Once we live into a certain pattern of life, we don't go beyond that pattern. We are not curious about new things in life. But people who are successful, I have seen as a pattern, they are very, very curious. Example, Alia Bhatt has been seen to be curious about many things in her life. She will try different genres of movies. Example, the first movie, Student of the Year. But then the second movie, Highway, completely different type of movie. Went to Hollywood also. Even in India, the kind of movie she's done, all different type of movies. Why? She personally says it herself, I am a very curious person. I love to learn. Ask yourself, do you have this pattern? Do you have this emotional pattern of being curious? If yes, then you will find out that you are able to learn new and new things every time. You'll explore many things in life. But ask yourself in your past, have you been curious about developing new ways of growing your health, new ways of growing your relationships, your career, your financial life? Or do you find yourself stuck with similar ideas that you're working with? Many times in my advanced law of attraction course, I have observed that people are stuck in their life simply because they're doing the same thing for many years again and again and again. This is what we call a pattern. But if you observe here with Alia Bhatt, her emotional pattern is of curiosity. Develop this curiosity in you. It's an amazing thing. The more curious you are, the more you learn. And you know that people who are more curious live more. Their energy is better. Why? The more curious you are, the more your brain is active. The more your brain is active, the better your body works. The better your body works, the more you live and the more energy you have. And listen, it's not only about the quantity of life, it's about the quality of life. Start being curious right now by saying, I'm a very curious person. I love to learn new things. I'm a very curious person. I love to learn new things. Isn't it amazing? Let's learn the second amazing emotional pattern of Alia Bhatt. The second pattern is she's very kind as a person. In an interview once, she was asked, what should we call you? Should we call you an actress, a celebrity, entrepreneur, author? What do we call you? And she said, please call me a kind person. She loves being a kind person because she loves practicing kindness. Now, why? I don't know. But she says she loves being kind. But here is the best part. When you come close to people who are kind, you can feel their warmth. And here is when you can feel their warmth. When you do a mistake, if the other person is being kind, that means that's their emotional pattern. Here is an example of that in Alia Bhatt's life. When Alia Bhatt came in the industry, initially she was criticized and trolled a lot about her intelligence, about her common sense, or about her common knowledge. But in spite of that, you will hardly find any videos of her being rude to people. Yes, she didn't like that people were trolling her. Nobody likes that. But in spite of that, she was being kind. Why? That's her pattern. In one of my interviews with an amazing podcaster, his name is Raazi, I did a beautiful podcast with him. If you haven't seen it, the link is above somewhere on this video or in the description below. Go and watch that podcast. In that podcast, I had explained that all human beings have emotional patterns. Once we get stuck in a pattern, good or bad, crises and opportunities are simply excuses to live your pattern, and crises and opportunities don't make you feel anything. They simply multiply your existing emotional pattern by 10 times. So if you observe Alia Bhatt, because she has a pattern of being kind, even though people are criticizing her, even though people are trolling her, she's being kind with herself. She's being kind with others. See, here is the best part about being kind. It's not about being kind to others. When you're practicing that with others, automatically, who will you practice this with? With yourself. Ask yourself this question. How kind are you with yourself when you make mistakes? Or do you judge yourself a lot? Or do you criticize yourself a lot? And you know what is the best proof of it? When others judge you, when others criticize you, at that time, are you kind with yourself? Or do you use their judgment and start feeling bad about it? If you're kind with yourself, first thing you'll do is, you will be kind and you'll say, koi baat nahi. Main aisa hi hu, main aisi hu. Koi baat nahi. I'm nice the way I am. I'm good the way I am. Somebody else is criticizing you. You might even be kind with them, saying, it's okay. You have the rights to your opinion. You can say whatever you want about me. That's your freedom. What I feel about myself is my freedom. But if I constantly feel bad about it and I get angry, that means feeling bad and being angry is my emotional pattern. See, this is the power of patterns. Once you get stuck in it, everything around you is simply an excuse to feel what you want to feel. I tell this to people that there is nothing called depressed people. It's only people with a depression pattern, nothing else. Now, if you know some friend of yours, you will realize this, that they find reasons to feel sad. They find reasons to feel depressed. Many times, everything is good in their life, but they find reasons to feel sad. Not because they are wrong. They are stuck in a pattern of depression, right? Alia Bhatt has an amazing pattern of being kind. Can you learn from that? Starting today, can you make this small change in yourself by saying, I'm a kind person. I'm kind with myself. I'm kind with others. There's another word which is very similar to the word kind. It's called being compassionate. I'm compassionate with myself. I'm compassionate with others. Tell me if you like this word of being kind with yourself and being kind with others in the comment section below, and promise me that you will start practicing it today. May not be with others. खुद के लिए तो practice कर लो. Be kind with yourself when others are not being kind with you. Listen, when the whole world is not kind with you, at least one person can. Who is that person? You yourself. Make sense? Now let's go towards the third emotional pattern of Alia Bhatt. That is learning from failures. And this is very connected to, if you see, her first emotional pattern of curiosity builds upon this pattern. She loves to learn from failures. How? In one of her interviews, she said she does feel bad when her movies don't do well, but after that, she goes through that movie again and again. She watches that movie again and again just to learn from that movie, what did she do wrong? Do you know how much courage it takes to do that? To watch your mistakes on a screen again? Think about it. Normally, if people come and tell us about our mistake, which we did in the past, 1 month ago or 1 day ago, 1 year ago also, if somebody tells us about that mistake on our face, even if we did that mistake 1 year ago, humko bura lag jata hai, right? We feel so bad that we don't want to talk about that mistake anymore. But this is an amazing pattern, learning from failure. What she does is she'll watch the same movie and she'll sit and make notes. Why did I make this mistake? In fact, she says not only she learns from failures, she basically loves to learn. She's quite an academic person, she says. Even when she's going for a particular role, she will study that role in advance. She loves learning and learning from failures. Ask yourself, do you learn from your failures? And what I mean by that is, some people have the opposite pattern, which is feeling bad with failures. See, that's a different pattern. If I have a habit of feeling bad with failures, I will use failures to feel more bad in my life. But if I have a habit to learn from failures, now I look back at my failure and say, hold on, what can I learn from this? This is the power of patterns. Once again, didn't I tell you this earlier? The more you are into a pattern, the pattern uses it now. So the best way to use the pattern is create a positive pattern. Then it's okay if the pattern uses you because it's a positive pattern. Make sense? From today onwards, starting now, say this with me. I love learning from my failures. I love learning. Say it again. I love learning from my failures. I love learning. Listen, you may be an Alia Bhatt fan. You may not be. Doesn't really matter. That's not what we are talking about. We are talking about, in her own way, she's a successful person. What made her successful? What is her emotional frequency? That's what we are learning, correct? So recap of 3 emotional frequencies of Alia Bhatt that we can learn from. First one, curiosity. Be curious in your life. Say it again and again. I love being curious. Second, I love being kind with myself, being kind with others. I love being compassionate. And third one, I love learning from failures. I love learning, right? Let's now go towards her beliefs. There are 2 powerful beliefs of Alia Bhatt, which I believe makes her unique and successful in her life as a frequency. Here is the first belief of Alia Bhatt. She very strongly believes in her own intuitions. In many of her interviews, she had said this, that she believes in her intuitions. Many of the movies that she took, people asked her, why did you do this movie? And she said, because I had this intuition and I believe in myself. Example, Karan Johar had asked her that, why did you do Kapoor and Sons movie? You had such a small role in that movie. She said, I don't know. I just believed in that role. And I had this instinct that this role is good for me. And she believes in herself. A lot of people don't trust their instincts. They doubt themselves. In fact, many times we ignore our instincts. Have you ever gone through that experience where you had a feeling that you nahi karna chahiye, but because you wanted to do it so much, you did it anyway. And when things didn't go correctly, you felt, yaar, I wish I had thought about that thought when I got this feeling कि मुझे नहीं करना चाहिए था, तब मुझे खुद की सुन लेनी चाहिए थी. कभी हुआ है आपके साथ ऐसा? मेरे साथ बहुत बार हुआ है. And I learned from that I really need to start trusting my instincts. So many times, जब कोई काम नहीं हो रहा होता है और my heart says, यार, maybe this is not meant to be, तो मैं उसके पीछे जिद करना बंद कर देता हूँ. I stop insisting on it because कुछ ना कुछ उसके पीछे अच्छा होता है. There is an amazing saying by Harivansh Rai Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan's father. He says, अपने मन का हो तो भला, ना हो तो और भी भला. क्यों? क्योंकि जो अपने मन के हिसाब से नहीं हो रहा है वो उसके हिसाब से हो रहा है, तो और भी भला, और भी अच्छा. Isn't that amazing? This is a beautiful pattern and a wonderful belief to have, to believe in your instincts. How do you grow your belief in your instincts? Start by saying, I believe in my instincts. I believe in the thoughts that come to me, the ideas that come to me. I believe in them. Take action on them. Over a period of time, your belief in yourself will increase. How? Think about it. If you believe in a relationship, the more trust you show in that person, the more your trust in that person grows. So develop that relationship with yourself, just like Alia Bhatt has developed that relationship with herself, where she believes in her instincts. Now you start believing in your instincts. Okay. Now let's go towards the second very, very powerful belief of Alia Bhatt, which I personally share with her. Her belief is she loves adding value in people's life. I say this in my workshops all the time, that if you really want to make a lot of money in your life, all you need to do is add 10 times value in people's life. Many interviews, Alia Bhatt has said that she doesn't like disappointing her audience. Many times she will even avoid a particular movie just because she thinks her audience may not appreciate her in that role. Why? Because she very strongly believes in adding value in people's life. This is very, very visible in her HRCM actions also. But before I give you proof of that, ask yourself this question. Do you believe in giving 10 times value or equal value? A lot of people don't succeed because they do transactional value. What is transactional value? अगर आपने मुझे 100 रुपया दिया तो मैं आपको 100 रुपए की वैल्यू दे रहा हूं. अगर आपने मुझे 50,000 की सैलरी दी तो मैंने आपको 50,000 का काम दिया. See, this is called as transactional value. But when you believe in giving 10 times value to people compared to the money that you've received, you give much more than the person has expected from you. But you'll observe many people say, boss, इतने पैसे में इतना ही मिलेगा. जिसकी वजह से people are not generous in the way they add value to their role. That may be in the office, that may be in the relationship, that may even be in the office. It can be anywhere and everywhere in life because this is a belief of adding value to people's life. Write this statement right now. It's a very powerful belief that I personally practice, and I talk about this in my Wealth Mastery workshop all the time. I love adding 10 times value for people's life. Would you love to learn more about money frequency of law of attraction? In my Wealth Mastery course, I teach such amazing principles of law of attraction that helps people upgrade their money frequency. There's a link below in this video. Click on that link quickly right now. Pause this video. Register right now. And the reason I'm saying now, because you might forget later. This video is so amazing. After this, in the action frequency of HRCM of Alia Bhatt, that you're going to get completely lost in this video. So best is pause this right now. Register now on that link. It gives you invitation to join my first lesson free of the Wealth Mastery course, which will give you more amazing learnings on how you can increase your income. Now let's go towards Alia Bhatt's action frequency. Alia Bhatt has amazing action frequency in all 4 areas of life. HRCM. What is HRCM? Health, relationships, career, and money. Let's take one example at a time. In case of her health, she loves exercising. Here is what I say in my Platinum membership program, where I do life coaching for people forever, like a lifetime membership. There I teach people that you must have Platinum standards in life in health. What does that mean? In our case, we have defined it in Platinum as being able to do 100 push-ups and 100 squats every day in 10 minutes. When we say forget about having lack of sickness. Lack of sickness is not equals health. We are talking about fitness. And I believe very strongly that Alia Bhatt also believes and acts towards fitness. How do we know that? Most of you must be saying, Mitesh, how do you know all these things about Alia Bhatt? You don't know her personally. That's true. I don't know her personally. This is my opinion and my understanding of FTBA, or feelings, thoughts, beliefs, and actions, based on the interviews, based on her articles, based on the media news that I hear about her. Example, in many videos, you will see Alia Bhatt actually doing some kind of a conversation where she's doing a treadmill. I remember watching one of her videos where she's talking about congratulating her husband Ranbir for one of the movies, and she was on the treadmill in that small video that she had made. There are so many times that she's talking about health. She's talking about nutrition. So if you observe, she inspires many people to focus on their health through her videos, not professionally, but just because that's who she is as a person. What can we learn from this? Are you taking action towards your health? Are you upgrading your health standards? Are you vibrating at platinum standards for your health? Are you exercising every day? Do you love exercising every day? Has this become part of your new life? Or you are one of those normal people who say, not wrong, but normal people who say, यार खाने के लिए तो जीते हैं, खाया नहीं तो फिर जी के क्या फायदा, फिर भले ही weight loss ना हो. Instead of that, how about saying food is not for entertainment, food is for nutrition. See, I have this belief, food is not for entertainment, food is for nutrition, food is to take care of my body. And exercising is not for working, exercising is because I love maintaining platinum standards in my health. Start using this from today. Say for yourself, I love having platinum standards in my health. I love having platinum standards in my health. Maybe you will also get inspired to exercise just like Alia Bhatt every day. And if you are already doing that, congratulations, you're already vibrating in that frequency. Now let's go to our second action frequency of relationships. In the area of relationships, you'll observe Alia has a lot of value towards people in her life. How do we know that? In my Advanced Law of Attraction course, there's a lesson I do on something called as values. And a very common question people ask me is, Mitesh, how do you know what is somebody's value? Here's how. Write down these 4 letters, TMFS. It means time, money, focus, and space. When people give effortless time, money, focus, and space to something or somebody, it means you value that thing or that person. Example, if you go to your wife and say, I love you, but I can't remember your birth date. Is she okay with that? No, obviously not. See, it's not about the birth date, by the way. When somebody remembers your birthday, it only means one thing. What does that mean? That person values you. When people remember what you like, what you don't like, छोटी-छोटी चीजें आपके बारे में उनको याद रहती है, इससे क्या पता चलता है? They value you. When people buy a greeting card for you, it's not about that 100 rupees greeting card or the 500 rupees greeting card. It shows that they value you. Now, in Alia Bhatt's life, you will observe in many interviews, she talks about relationships in her life. She talks about, my father had said this to me. She talks about, this is what I learned from Ranbir as an actor. And she talks about her directors. She talks about the people that she's working with. Why does she do that? Why does she talk about her friends, her family members in interviews? Because she values her relationships? Ask yourself, are you giving enough TMFS to your relationships? Are you giving enough time, money, focus, and space to your relationships? A friend of mine recently spoke to me yesterday in the life coaching certification workshop that I was delivering just yesterday on Sunday. And during that course, a friend who's also a student in the life coaching program asked me, I'm not getting along with my girlfriend. It's been more than 6 months now. This girl approached him. She proposed him. But now, somewhere in the end of that 6 months of relationship, she's not talking to him much. He's feeling like she's not giving him enough importance. She's not talking to him enough. He's asking, why is this happening? So I asked him, I said, how much time do you spend with your girlfriend? And his first answer was, actually, she lives in Delhi and I live in Rishikesh. I said, but why do you live in Rishikesh? He said, because I like nature. I like trees. I said, do you live there with your family? He said, no, I stay here alone. I said, alone? Why? He said, no, I just love staying in nature. I said, but do you have an option of going and staying in Delhi? He said, yeah, I have that option. I'm staying alone. I can easily shift there. I said, interesting. You're investing all your time, money, focus, and space in staying in Rishikesh away from your girlfriend whom you probably want to marry. So what is the message going to her based on your TMFS where you're investing your time, money, focus, and space? That her value probably is a little less in your life, and where you stay in terms of nature is more valuable to you. I said, tell me during the whole day, what do you think about most of the times? Do you think about work or do you think about her? And he said, no, mostly I'm thinking about work. I said, see, TMFS is saying you are prioritizing work more, her less. Now, don't you think that girl realizes this, that he prioritizes her second, third, or fourth, and on the number 1 and 2 comes nature, spending time at work, doing business, making money, career, then she comes later. Now, because of that, people move away from us when we don't value them. So ask yourself, in your action frequency of relationships, are you giving enough time, money, focus, and space to your parents, to your life partner? Hey, are you giving enough value and time to yourself? A lot of people don't have a good relationship with themselves because they don't give enough value to themselves. Make sense? So start saying this affirmation with me right now. I value my relationships. I always give time, money, focus, and space to all my relationships, including myself. Okay. Now let's go to her third area, which is career and money, how she has been taking action in the area of career and money. One of the best things I like about Alia is that as an actor, not only is she doing one kind of movie, but she's doing multiple types of movies. She's gone from Bollywood to Hollywood, which means she's taking a lot of risk. Why? Because she wants to grow in her career. She's also written an amazing book. In fact, she's an author of a book called Ed Finds a Home. She started a business called Edamama, which is a clothing business for mothers and children. And I think now she's collaborated recently with Isha Ambani in that business. What does this prove to us? It proves to us her action frequency, that she's constantly taking action to grow health, relationships, career, and money also. If you do a little research, you'll find her net worth is more than 550 crores, which means she's not just making money from only being an actress. She's becoming an entrepreneur. She's trying to become an author. She's trying to do multiple things to make sure that she's able to grow in all 4 areas of life: health, relationships, career, and money. In my law of attraction workshops, I tell people our life is like a guitar of 4 strings, HRCM. If you're playing this guitar by tuning only one area of life or only 2 areas of life, you will only hear noise. You will not hear music. But if you tune all the 4 areas of life, which means you focus on all 4 areas of life, now your life will have music, not noise. I've seen this pattern in all successful people in the world, whom I call as platinum standards people. They are successful in all 4 areas of life: health, relationships, career, and money. And that is why I'm bringing case studies of law of attraction by using these people as an example and dissecting their FTBAs for you, so you can see this reality and you can see this proof, not only with Alia Bhatt, but with many such people. Like I told you earlier, I've already done a case study on Diljit Singh Dosanjh, on Hrithik Roshan. We'll be bringing in more such people for you. Tell me whose case study would you like to see next time in the comment section below. An entrepreneur, actress, politician, we'd love to do a video based on your comments. Okay. Did you learn a lot from today's video about how Alia Bhatt uses law of attraction and what you can learn from that to upgrade your frequency and attract success in your life in all 4 areas? Ready? Also, please do share this video with some of your friends who probably are big fans of Alia Bhatt and maybe a small fan of law of attraction. I'm a big fan of law of attraction. So I'm definitely going to talk about this video and this case study, not only with you, but with my friends and family. And hey, subscribe to the channel quickly and hit the bell icon. So next time we bring an amazing case study of law of attraction like this with you, or a new technique of law of attraction, you get a notification soon. Okay. See you soon in the next video. Bye-bye.